I feel like Dracula would have this on like his table just for guests, you know. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Janie. If you are new, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow your girl on all social media. So today we are about to have a low-key wine expo. So I've been saying for a while that I'm gonna do a video of like my favorite red wines, like the red wines that like I can't live without. And then it became Christmas time, so I'm like, ooh, I might as well do some red wines that I think are like perfect for the holidays, whether it's Christmas, New Year's, honestly, whether it's a Tuesday night and you just feel like drinking. So I have a plethora of wines in front of me. Most of them are red. I'm sorry to let you guys know, no, none of them are white. I don't like white wine. Like, I don't like it at all. I feel like, what's the point? Like, I'll drink it if I have to, but I'm not a white winer at all whatsoever. So we are about to get into it. I'm gonna lower my camera so you guys can see, and I'm gonna describe all 8 of these for you. Okay, so we have 8 bottles of alcohol here. So these 3 right here are my absolute favorites. I'm now getting into Dark Horse, and these ones were just additions. So let's start with the additions. So we're gonna start off with the sweet stuff, and then work our way to the others. So the first one I have for you guys is called Donna Luisa. This is from Spain and it's a sherry. This particular sherry is 17%, and usually sweet wines, like if you just get like a regular sweet wine, it's usually like 5 to 10%, but sherry is made to be sweeter but still stronger. So as a sherry, you're gonna get something a bit thicker than your regular wine, because it's not just wine, it's more of like a fortified wine. As I said, I personally just don't like sherries because 9 times out of 10 they're extremely sweet, and I said I'm not a sweet drinker. This one is not for me, but I decided I have to show you guys something that's sweeter, so if that's more of your palate, you can go with this. Next up, I have this sparkling wine, aka champagne. Like Trader Joe's just wants to call it sparkling wine, but I've had it one time before and it's literally just like champagne. Like, I know sparkling wine and champagne are not the same thing, but it tastes just like champagne. It's actually comparable to the Moniato. Okay, it's called Mayonetto. I know I was close. So it's like that orange champagne. I feel like everybody has seen that bottle. Like, it looks something like the Moet bottles, but it's completely cheaper. Like, it's like $13 in Trader Joe's, and this is $6. So am I gonna pay double the price to have the same exact taste just for a name? No, I'm not. I'm gonna pick up the next best thing, which is this. This is the same exact 11% alcohol as Mionetto, and I feel like just for the holidays it's always good to have like a champagne slash sparkling wine. Like, because what are you gonna do on New Year's? You have to have something to pop, and I don't believe in wasting the alcohol. Like, I hate when I see people like shake it up and then pop it all over the place. It annoys me. You're wasting money and liquid is touching the floor. Like, why? For what? Unless you're doing it with like a $4 or $5 bottle. Like, if I was ever supposed to do it, it would have to be with like a bottle like this, which I would still be upset because that's $6 on the floor, but I'll waste $6 before I go waste like a $100 bottle of Moet. Like, make it make sense. So next up, we have my favorite of favorites of favorites. I feel like if you've ever been around me, I talk about Josh a lot. Like, me and Josh can get married at this point. Like, this is the Josh Cabernet Sauvignon. He's my baby. I love him. I love him so much. Like, Josh is my favorite brand overall. Like, Josh, this one called Boogle, those are my top 2. Like, any of the alcohols from them, other than their white stuff, because I said I don't like white alcohol. So this is 13.5%. Normally I try my best not to buy anything below 12% unless it's like sweeter alcohols or like a champagne or something. But I feel like if I'm gonna be drinking, I should be drinking the alcohol. I'm not just drinking for drinking's sake. Like, I'm drinking to feel something, not to be drunk, but to feel something. So I usually get 12.5 to 14.5-ish. I've gotten lucky with some 15s, but they're kind of hard to find in like a good price range that tastes good. So this is really dry. Like, it's very dark and dry. Like, I feel like Dracula would have this on like his table just for guests, you know. It gives like blackberry, plums, cherry. There's definitely some oaky flavors because I'm really into like woody taste in like my red wine. So if you get a bottle of Josh, just know that it's really good for like red meat. If you're doing like a pasta, it's really good because it's really good with like beef and lamb. Like, oh, lamb chops with some Josh on the side, slightly chilled. Like, literally right before you eat, like when you're taking out the food, put this in like the freezer. Like, when you're serving your food, put this in the freezer, put out the plates, and then go grab this. Like, it'll just be slightly chilled, and it's gonna be the best thing that you've ever had. So next up, we have my other favorite brand, Boogle. So this is the Boogle Merlot. I think I'm slowly becoming more Merlot than Cabernet. I don't know, I feel like Cabernet is a bit heavier depending on what type of night I'm having. Like, if I'm really trying to like feel my alcohol, it's definitely Cabernet. If I just want a quick sip of something, it's definitely going to be Merlot. So this Boogle in particular is 14.5%, and honestly, you really only need like one full glass. Like, not the little tiny servings they give you when you go to a restaurant. Like, you need one full glass of this and that's it. Like, this will get you the furthest you need to be without taking you to the level of drunk. Like, this is the perfect tipsy pour, and this mimics some of the notes from the Josh Cabernet. It's like blackberries, cherries, plums, like dark fruit. I feel like it kind of has like some chocolatey flavors in it, and of course there's oak. Like, if I'm remembering the Merlot correctly and I'm not mixing it up with another red wine from Boogle, it kind of has some vanilla hints to it. Like, it is just a really good bottle of wine to enjoy anytime. So then we have this one that I literally just got into. Like, Zinfandel has never been something that I'm like really into, because all of the Zinfandels I had within like the past 2.5, 3 years were all like really sweet. So when I found this Zinfandel, which, oh, I didn't show you guys. So this is the Old Moon Zinfandel. Similar dark notes. Most dark red wine, like most dry red wine, are gonna have like cherry, black cherry, like plum, blackberries, stuff like that. But this one adds an extra little oomph to it because it has like raspberries and strawberries. So it's like a very bold, in your face type of taste. Like, you're gonna taste every fruit to where like you can't go wrong. Like, if somebody says to like swirl it, oxygenate it, like if someone says to do that, you have to, there's no way you can guess wrong. Like, there's so many notes of so many fruits in this one bottle that if you get it wrong, there's just something wrong with you. That it's just you are the problem. And this is another 14.5 bottle, so be cautious while pouring unless that's the type of night that you're trying to have. So next up we have our Pinot Noir. This is the Dark Horse brand, and I have a love-hate relationship with Pinot because sometimes it can just taste too rustic. Like, it can taste not too woody, but just too grit, if that makes sense. Like, your Pinot can go from, ooh, this is a nice smoky type of aftertaste, to being really bitter really quickly, depending on which brand you get it from. So I've now learned that I only like Pinots from California. When I go to like the European like Pinot Noirs, like their palates are way more open than mine. Like, clearly I'm not on their level of like wine connoisseuring, but their palates are way better than mine because I cannot handle a European Pinot. So this Dark Horse, extremely affordable. I think it was like $8. This is 13.5%. So this one you can go a little crazy. Plus, it's a cheaper bottle. So it's like, honestly, if you don't try any of the other ones, like the two I would say to make sure you try are like the Dark Horse because it's $8 and the Boogle because it's like $9. Like, you can taste test off of things that are less than $10. If you don't like it, I'm sorry, but I feel like those are the type of bottles that you start off with, so you just see what you like, what you don't like. Do you need it sweeter? Do you want it more dry? Do you need it less acidic? Things like that. And also, a quick little tip, there's an app called Vivino that when you go into like a wine store or like the supermarket or wherever it is that you buy your alcohol, you can take a picture of it. Let me get it on my phone. So when you take a picture of the Boogle, it'll tell you what other people rate it as, and then it'll tell you how much of a match it is for you and the things that you like. So mine says it's like an 86% match, and then the more you go down, you can rate it, and then it'll tell you like the boldness, how sweet it is, how acidic it is, stuff like that. And then it'll tell you the type of meals you can pair with it all the way at the bottom. So if you're new to wines, I definitely recommend that you download that app. They do not sponsor me, which I kind of hope they want to one day, but that's a different story. But they're a real lifesaver of an app, like if you use it consistently. Like, I'll take pictures of stuff and then I'll forget to like put in if I liked it or I didn't like it, so sometimes my recommendations are off, but that's just because I'm not very consistent with putting it in there anymore. When I first started like getting into wines, I was active on it. So next we have this Lambrusco. So this is another sweet wine. From the name you can tell it is Italian. This is only, I think, 9%. How much percent is this? It's 8.5%, but as I said, this was not bought for me. So I think it's okay. Like, it's not as sweet as, like, let's say this one. It's not as sweet as this one, but it's also not as strong as that one. So it's kind of you picking your battles a bit. Like, do I want something strong that's gonna be extremely sweet, or do I want to just like test my foot into it, but it's not gonna be as alcoholic? And then lastly, we have this new one that I have never tried, nor have I ever seen in Trader Joe's. The lady at the register told me it was new, but it is a creamy sake. So if you don't know, sake is like this Japanese drink. So I like to get it regular and hot. This one, she recommended it being cold because it's like creamy. She says it's like a Japanese Baileys. So if you ever had Baileys before, this is supposedly going to taste that way. I can't actually tell you guys that because I have not tried it yet. But I'm actually really interested in trying this one. I hope it's not too sweet, but we'll see what happens. Alrighty guys, so thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on all social media. Let me know if you guys have tried any of these from Trader Joe's, and if you had to pick one, which one would you try? I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!